Dead about an hour, I'd say. Maybe more.
How old was she?
26, 27.
Ursula Elizabeth Gray, age 22. Special peculiarities. Large birthmark on right shoulder blade. You notice it?
You've got that picture there. What more do you want?
I want to know who shot her. I want it to stop raining, and I want that blasted dog to shut up.
I wish you luck.
Yeah.
What a night to get shot.
Saunders? Oh, don't do that. You look horrible. Find anything?
He got in through here all right. The plants are all trampled down. But the rain's washed away all the footprints.
Well, at least somebody's lucky with the weather.
I found this. It's one of those ballpoint things.
Oh, that's great. There are only about 1 million of these. You better come on in.
I've covered everything, Chief. I'll get these back.
See what you can do with that, will you?
All right, Chief?
Yeah, go on. Get on home.
Good night.
Good night. Wonder why? Why was she moved?
Something in the cupboard. He wanted to get at the cupboard. She fell across the door. He had to move her. But what was it?
Who was he? Well, whoever he was, if I may make an amazing deduction, he was obviously looking for something.
And found it. Which is more than we have. All right to take it now, sir?
Good.
Well, no joy. No prints anywhere else either. That's about my lot. Good hunting, Chief.
All right.
All clear in there now, sir?
Wish it was.
She must have been a fashion model.
Well, we're doing well. We know her name. We know she was a model, and that's all. There's no evidence of family, no letters, no nothing.
I'll check with the magazine and see if this other girl knew anything about her.
Yeah. Yeah, fair than that, will you? 3 lipsticks. Hotel Clarence.
4 onces, 2 fivers. A membership card to Blakeney's.
Blakeney's.
They play for real money there.
Yeah.
Funny, isn't it? We used to be very hot on places like that.
Why do people buy diaries if you don't intend to use them? Oh. Miss Ursula Gray had lunch this very day with someone called P. I'll get this lot down to the yard for what it's worth.
Right. Saunders. Huh?
You're busted.
It was all right a minute ago. What a daft place to put a gun.
Well done. I wonder why I didn't take it with him.
Perhaps it wasn't his.
Well, we got the body and we got the weapon. All we need now is a motive and a killer. Come on, it's 2:30.
Excuse me, sir.
What's the matter with you, Jackson?
It's David Dane.
Hmm?
The one on the telly, sir. He's just outside. Says he lives here.
Well, you'd better wheel him in then.
Inspector will see you now, sir. I just can't believe it. What happened? Was she really shot?
I'm Chief Inspector Burkett. This is Sergeant Saunders. Who are you?
I take it you don't watch television, Inspector. The name's Dane. David Dane. I live upstairs.
Oh, it's your dog that's kicking up all that racket.
Yes, it is. I say they have ransacked this place, haven't they? Or did you do it? I'm sorry, Inspector. I didn't mean to.
That's all right, Mr. Dane. We're not quite as untidy as this.
You mean she was robbed as well?
Looks like it.
Have you any idea what they were after?
Have you?
No. Could we continue upstairs, Inspector? She really won't stop until I go up to her.
And let's, by all means.
I'll lead the way.
Jackson?
Yes, sir?
That's David Dane, the famous television actor.
So watch your step.
Now, be a good girl, Snooky. Now, Snooky, behave. Snooky, will you behave yourself? Snooky, be quiet. They're very nice policemen. They won't do you any harm. Snooky, will you be quiet? These people are my friends. Shut up. There, Inspector. She recognizes the voice of authority. Now, let me get you a little drink.
Not for us, thanks just the same.
Well, you stick to the rules even on a night like this. I say that's frightfully good.
Now, Mr. Dane, what can you tell us about Ursula Gray?
Very little, I fear, Inspector. I know she did some photographic modeling. Oh, do sit down, won't you?
You know anything about her family? Mother, father, brothers, sisters?
Not a thing, Inspector. Snooky, will you get down? Quite honestly, she never struck me as having any, well, family ties.
How long have you been neighbors?
Oh, about a year, I suppose. Oh, will you sit down, Mr.
Sergeant Saunders. He has a natural talent for keeping on the move. In the course of a year, you must have seen quite a lot of Miss Gray. After all, it isn't a very big house, is it? Just the 2 flats?
That's all. Of course, I invited her to a few parties. It's the only way to avoid those complaints about the noise and the music.
Did she come alone?
Oh, Lord, no. She brought various men.
She brought various men to parties at which you were the host. I find it very difficult to believe that you didn't know some of their names.
Well, I didn't. And I doubt if she did. Quite honestly, Inspector, I really don't know nothing about this poor girl that could possibly help you.
I see.
Oh, those are just tapes of my shows. Sound recordings, I mean.
What were you doing tonight, Mr. Dane?
My show, Inspector.
Oh, yes.
I went to the studios for rehearsals at about 5. I was on from 9:30 to 10:30. Here I am. You can check with the studio, of course.
By the way, Mr. Dane, we Found this outside. Is it yours?
I use one of these. So sorry, Inspector, I wasn't more help to you.
Well, not to worry. We'll be in touch again.
Good night, sir. Don't worry, we'll see ourselves out.
Night, Jackson.
Good night, sir. Good night.
He's got something on his mind.
He wants to know what they were looking for as much as we do.
Yeah, I know. Check with the studios, will you?
Right.
Well, I suppose a million women like him, but I don't.
You can never tell with women. My wife likes custard on bread.
Thanks.
Good night.
Night.
What are you doing in here? You haven't had a row with Mother or anything, have you?
No, my darling daughter. I just happened
Well,
to be
that's
a
all
little
right,
late and... Go on.
Mother, may I borrow your black gloves, please?
If you can find them. Good Lord.
Morning.
Where did you spring from? I thought you'd been out all night.
I nearly was. As you hogged the entire bed, I decided to dust
Excuse
down
me?
and... Come along, move along, please. Go on, get out of it. I want to shave. I'll take off that silly hat. You look like a sick acorn.
All right. Hey, what do you want for breakfast?
I don't mind.
Morning, Mrs. Beckett.
Good morning.
Buy Aldous, Hannah. I'll try to get home sometime.
You do that. And try and take care of yourselves, too.
Please may I have a lift to the underground?
Against regulations to carry passengers, isn't it, Saunders?
Oh, it doesn't say anything about daughters, though.
Goodbye, Mother.
Goodbye.
Good Lord, it's all these policemen. Why not?
Make way, please. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Clear the pathway, please, ladies. Move along, please.
Oh, you shouldn't say that.
Good morning, sir.
Morning, Jackson.
Mrs. Gray is here. Hope I did right to let her in.
Mrs. Gray?
Says she's the dead girl's mother. In there, sir.
Mrs. Gray. I'm Chief Inspector Burkett.
How do you do, Inspector?
You saw it in the newspaper. I'm so sorry. It must have been a terrible shock for you. But there was nothing in her belongings that mentioned any next of kin.
I'm quite sure there wasn't, Inspector. Seems such a terrible thing to say now. But you see, Ursula and I were never very close. She had her own life to lead.
It didn't leave much time for her mother.
After all, she was grown up. She was quite entitled to choose.
Yes. When did you last see her?
We met twice during the last year.
Mrs. Gray, I realize you're not in a position to help us very much. But did you know any of her friends? It's most important that we should contact anyone who might have known her.
Only wish I could help, Inspector, but she was always alone when we did meet. And I was the last person she would have confided in, you see.
Yes, I understand. We found the initial P in her diary for lunch yesterday. Does that mean anything to you? You'd like to go home now. I'm sure it won't be necessary to bother you anymore, but might I have your address?
Edith Gray, 10 St. George's Drive, Southwest 3.